Let's do this. I want to preface this by saying that nothing I will say in this video is revolutionary. People who experience misogyny have been saying this for ages, and none of this is a new concept. In my opinion though, as long as the issue persists, we should never shut up about it and we should never let anything go unsaid for a second. So that's what I'm here to do. People who have experienced misogyny, please feel free to add on to anything I say in the comments. I'm sure I will not be able to cover everything. First off, women do not have it easier on Twitch. I hear the argument constantly that it's so easy for women to blow up because of the simps on the platform, which apparently male streamers don't have. But that just tells me you have never spent any time in certain communities on Twitch. If you were to experience, for example, the Minecraft YouTube community for even a second, you would see how these male streamers have countless numbers of simps, a lot of them being female. In the same community, the most successful female content creators are lucky to have even a quarter of the amount of success that the most popular male content creators have. No matter how dedicated, charismatic, talented, etc. they are, they're overshadowed. I've seen so many people hate on creators like TinaKitten and hannahxxrose for being loud or cocky. Meanwhile, their favorite male content creators have the biggest egos on the planet and are the definition of loud equals funny. While it is inevitable that like every Twitch streamer will experience some form of harassment or toxicity, women experience an additional layer that men just don't face. Women also experience harassment at a much higher rate proportional to their following. An example of this is hannahxxrose, who I mentioned earlier. Hannah Rose is a fantastic Bed Wars player. She's very talented, streams live on Twitch, uploads YouTube videos, and posts clips on TikTok. Because she's so good at Bed Wars, playing the game normally would probably get pretty boring for both her and her audience, so she does fun and creative plays and uploads them to TikTok. And God, does that make 12-year-old boys angry. Her comments are always flooded with people being like, that's easier, what even was the point of that? Like, oh my God. And obviously, yes, male Bed Wars TikTokers definitely get these comments too, but it's just not in the same sheer volume that Hannah gets them. Some people just live in her comment section waiting for her to post a new TikTok to diminish her skills. It's insane. A while ago, as Hannah was starting to get more hate as her popularity rose, I commented something supportive on one of her TikToks. I don't remember what it was, something about her being talented or like to ignore everyone being mean. And I got so many angry replies for absolutely no good reason. It's not like I called her like the best Bed Wars player in the universe. I just was being nice, and guys took that so personally for no reason. I feel like that really says something about them. And I don't know, I just never heard anyone say that like Purpled, who is a male Bed Wars content creator, is overrated. Not saying that nobody ever has, it just truly does not happen at the same rate. I remember someone, no idea who, it was a very long time ago, said that people hate on Hannah because she markets herself as good at the game, and I 100% agree with that. Seeing a woman confident in her talents and rivaling male content creators' talents, especially in a male-dominated field, makes people angry. It makes them feel threatened, and we all know how some men get when they feel threatened. I also remember a while ago people were going crazy claiming that Hannah got obby-trapped as a way to try and diminish her talents, even when it was proven that it wasn't true. But people just saw an opportunity and sprinted with it to try and put her down. It was crazy. I've also seen a lot of TikToks of Hannah in like duels. I think that's what they are. I'm not really into duels, like UHC duels. Is that a thing? Is that what they are? Anyway, I've seen a lot of TikToks of her in duels and consequently winning those duels against very talented people, and every time I go to the comments, it's just everybody saying, she ate so many gapples, she kept running away. Like, dude, eating gapples and retreating is literally part of strategy and a part of PvP. Like, I don't know what you want. Like, she won fair and square. It's not like she cheated. People are just going to insane reaches to put her down. Anyway, enough of that rant. Just very passionate about Hannah Rose. I feel like we have a connection ever since she commented on one of my TikToks. Hey Hannah, if you're out there. Anyway, I'm talking about the Minecraft/MCYT community the most because the community that I'm the most knowledgeable in, and because honestly misogyny does run rampant within it despite a huge amount of the fan base being female, which honestly just makes it really sad to see. A lot of the female audience in MCYT is pretty young, which means they're either surrounded by misogyny, perpetuating it themselves, or both. It's really hard to disrupt this pattern because it feels like female content creators aren't even listened to when they talk about it, and yet when male content creators do, they're treated like gods. Like, Wilbur Soot once said something about how teenage girls can never do anything without being made fun of, and it spread like wildfire.
People give TikTok such a bad rap. I genuinely believe there's like, Phil, can you name something that teenage girls can be interested in without being made fun of?
People turned it into a TikTok audio, quoted it constantly, treated it like scripture. And girls have been saying this for years. Like, yes, it's very nice that a guy acknowledged this issue, but can we lift up the voices of people who have actually experienced this, please? Because I want to raise the voices of people who have actually experienced misogyny, I asked both Twitter and TikTok to share their experiences with me. Out of the small circle I reached, I got 71 responses, which proportionally is huge and really indicative within itself. Reading through every response made me really sad and emotional to see so many people go through such awful things. Like, people have been groomed, harassed, sexualized, battle internalized misogyny, and unfortunately so much more. Streamer Haley Paz talked about how they've experienced harsh criticism for making small mistakes in gameplay and editing. If a non-feminine presenting creator also makes this mistake, it's okay because everyone makes mistakes, but when a feminine presenting creator does it, then it's because, oh, it must be because they're a woman, or haha, woman moment. I swear, I've personally heard the woman moment thing more times than I can count, especially in gaming, and it's just so stupid. Twitch streamer Roralie also shared what she has faced. People have constantly insulted her appearance, told her she doesn't belong on Twitch, and diminished her success to her gender or her appearance. She also said this: "There has been more than one time that I rejected a man who asked me out, and to retaliate, they sent trolls, shared my stream to hate forums, and botted me just to use my stream against me and take away something I'm proud of. I've never heard of something like that happening to a male streamer. While I'm sure some men have experienced it, it's certainly not as often as it happens to female streamers. It's genuinely so sad." I feel like I don't even have to say anything about this. It really speaks for itself, unfortunately. An anonymous person also responded and said this: "I saw this on my TL the first time and was bittersweetly grateful I hadn't had an experience like this yet. And then the very same day, someone joined my Twitch chat just to tell everyone they were, and to ask if I swallowed. It sucks." That one genuinely made me sick to my stomach to read. Like, the whole irony of it, seeing it and as terrible. Finally, the response that got me the most emotional was from another anonymous person who talked about their struggle with battling internalized misogyny as they grew up in gaming. They said, "For years, I also was not able to enjoy so many female content creators because I judged them so terribly," which I felt a little too hard. They also thanked me at the end for the survey and for pursuing content creation, which definitely made me a bit teary-eyed. Oh, and surprise, surprise, of course we had to have someone think they're hilarious and send me a huge paragraph of bullshit. Just shows how often misogyny is not taken seriously. I could go on about this for days and days because I have a lot of pent-up anger that just gets worse every time I see a misogynistic comment, but overall, a message for men: don't be a bystander. You're either actively working against misogyny or you're part of the problem. Simple as that. The one girl in your game notices when you don't have her back against trolls. Don't sit idly. Here. Say, "I hate men." Meow, meow, meow. He agrees.